Okay, so the second family in our handwriting scheme is the coat hanger family. These letters all start with a coat hanger shape, and we're looking for letters that are an oval shape rather than a round circular shape. So the first letter in this family is the letter C, so it's a lowercase c. All of these in the coat hanger family will start just underneath the top solid line. We're going to come up, over, round, down and bump our bottom. So we'll start with the letter C. So we're going to start just underneath the top solid line. We're going to go up, over, bump our heads, keeping that oval shape, come round, bump our bottom on the bottom solid line and up and round, okay? So we're keeping in between those two solid lines because this is a small letter, okay? We're going to try that again. So we're just going to start below the top solid line. We're going to go up, over, bump our head, keep that nice oval shape, come down, bump our bottom and up again. Okay, see if you can try the letter C. Okay, have a go. Try and do 4 of those for me, please. So the letter C. It's a small letter in between those two solid lines, making sure that you're holding your pencil carefully using that Percy Parrot pencil, and you're going just below the top solid line. You're going up, over, bump our head, round, down, bump your bottom, and you get that C shape, that lowercase c, a small letter. Try 4 of those. When you've done those, have a little look, see which one you think is the best. If you think you need to do a little bit more practicing, try a couple more just on the same line. See if you can get that nice oval shape. And then when you finish them, have a little look and just put a small dot underneath the C that you think is the best. Okay, so we're then going to use that same movement, that coat hanger movement, for our next letter in the family, and this is the letter O. Okay, for this one, you're going to start in the exact same place as you did for the letter C. So you're going to a new line in between the two solid lines, and you're going to go up, over, bump your head on the top solid line, come round in that nice oval shape, round, but this time you're going to go down, bump your bottom, and we're going to follow that round, go back over where we started all the way until our pencil's on the top solid line. We're going to keep it on the paper, and this time we're going to do a horizontal joining stroke where we come across the top solid line, just a small amount, ready for when we are joining those letters, and then we can take our pencil off. So I'll show you again, so just watch that carefully. So it's just like when we did the letter C. We're going to start just below the top solid line. We're going to go up, over, bump our heads, round, bump our bottoms, up, over, all the way to the top solid line. Then we're going to keep our pencil on the paper, and we're going to go through the top solid line to do our horizontal joining stroke. Let's see if you can have a go at doing the letter O, the lowercase o. Have a go, see if you can do 4 of those for me, please. Really making sure that you keep in between those two solid lines, making it a small letter, and then that you keep your pencil on to do that joining stroke at the top, ready for when you are joining your letters. Then put a dot underneath the letter O that you think that you've done the best. Right, for the next one, we're going to have a look at the letter A. So it's a lowercase a, an A, and we're going to go to a new line. Again, it's a small letter, so it will stay in between those two solid lines. For this one, we're going to start just underneath the top solid line like we did for the letter C and the letter O. And we're going to go up, bump our heads, round, down, bump our bottoms on the bottom solid line, but this time we're going to go up and we're going to go right back to the top solid line. This time keep your pencil on. You're going to come back down in a straight soldier down to the bottom solid line. You're going to bump your bottom on the bottom solid line, and then you're going to do a small diagonal joining stroke. Okay? Having a look at that small diagonal joining stroke. We'll try those again, trying to keep that nice oval shape in your letters. So we'll start underneath the top solid line. We go up, over, bump our heads, round, down, bump our bottoms, right back up to the top solid line. We come down in a nice straight soldier, keeping our pencil on all the time for this one. And then we come down to the bottom solid line and take it up for a small diagonal joining stroke. See if you can have a go at a lowercase a. Have a practice, see if you can do another 3 of those. Don't forget to do that diagonal joining stroke, keeping your pencil on the page all the time. We don't need to take our pencil off at any point until we've finished our letter. And then when you've done, have a look, see if you've got the perfect one. If you have, put a dot underneath it. If not, don't worry, have a little practice, see if you can do another couple on your line there. Moving on to the next letter in the coat hanger family. So this is the letter D, a lowercase d, but this one is the first of the tall letters in the coat hanger family. So we're still starting in the same place. It's going to be that same motion, that same coat hanger shape that we did for our previous letters, but we're going to start underneath the top solid line. We're going to come up, over, bump our heads, round, bump our bottoms, but this time we're going to keep our pencil on the paper. We're going to go up past the top solid line all the way to the top broken line, keeping our pencil on the paper, and then we're going to come down in a nice straight soldier all the way down, bump our bottoms on the bottom solid line, still keeping our pencil on the paper, and then we're going to go up in a diagonal joining stroke, just a small one, ready for us to join our letters. So we'll do that one again. So we're starting just underneath the top solid line. We're going to go up, round, bump our heads, round, bump our bottoms, up, straight up to the top broken line. We're going to come down in a nice straight soldier, bump our bottoms, and then do a small diagonal joining stroke. See if you can have a go at doing 3 of those for me, please. If you're still struggling, just have another watch. I'm going to do a couple more and then have a practice on your paper as well. If you feel like you need to practice those, just do a couple more. Have a look, have you got those nice straight soldiers at the back? Have you got the diagonal joining stroke? Just check your letters, and if not, just have a practice, do a couple more. And then put a dot underneath your most perfect lowercase d. Then we've got the next letter in our coat hanger family. This one is the letter G. This one is a tail letter. It comes underneath and it goes all the way back down to the bottom broken line. Okay, so we're still keeping that same coat hanger shape to begin with, and then we're going to come down. This one won't need a joining stroke because it's a tail letter, so we won't be joining this letter even when we're doing our joined up handwriting. So we're starting just underneath the top solid line. We're going to go up, over, bump our heads, round, down, bump our bottoms, and we're going to go up just like we did for the letter A, but this time we're going to come back down all the way to the bottom broken line, and then we're going to come under for the letter G, that lowercase g. I'm going to leave a space and I'm going to show you again, so just watching carefully. We're going to start below the top solid line. We're going to go up, over, bump our heads, round, try and get that nice oval shape, bump our bottoms, up to the top solid line, coming down in a nice straight soldier, bump our bottoms on the bottom broken line and coming back round for the G. You can see there's a much better oval shape on this one. This one's a little bit too circular, so I'm going to keep practicing my letter G, see if you can do the same as well. So we're starting just underneath the top solid line. We're going up, over, bump our heads, round, down, bump our bottoms, up, right up to the top broken line, coming down in a nice straight soldier, keeping your pencil on the paper, round, bump our bottom. See if you can do at least 4 of those. If you want to practice some more, then do that on the same line. Once you finish those, just put a small dot under your most perfect G. Okay, and then we've got the next one. So this is a lowercase q. This is a strange one because it looks as if it almost has a diagonal joining stroke in it, but again it's a tail letter, so we wouldn't join this letter even when we're doing our joined up handwriting. For this one we've got the same coat hanger movement at the very beginning. So we start just below the top solid line, going up, round, bump our heads, down, bump our bottoms, and it's straight up like we did for the G to the top solid line, but this time we're coming down in a straight soldier all the way to the bottom broken line, keeping it nice and straight, and then when we get to the bottom broken line we're going to come back and do a diagonal joining stroke, but remember we won't be using that to join. We'll try it again. So that nice coat hanger shape to begin with, so we start below the top solid line, up, over, bump our head, keeping it nice and oval shaped, round, bump our bottom, up to the top solid line, down in a nice straight soldier all the way down to the bottom broken line, keeping our pencil on the paper, and then coming back to do that diagonal joining stroke. I'm going to do a couple more now, so if you feel like you can start, have a go, but if not, just watch again. Let's do at least 4 of those. If you need to do more, you can keep practicing. We're going to go just underneath the top solid line, up, over, bump your head, round, down, bump your bottom, up to the top solid line, down in a nice straight soldier, all the way to the bottom solid line, and then come back to do your diagonal joining stroke. Once you've finished, have a look. Have you got the perfect Q? put a little dot underneath your perfect Q. Then we've got another additional member of the coat hanger family. However, this one is slightly different. We start in a different place for this letter, but then we go into the coat hanger movement. Okay, so this is a lowercase e, the letter E as a lowercase. I'm just going to leave a gap so that we can see that there's a slight difference between this one. So here, before we go into the coat hanger movement, we do have a diagonal straight line, okay? It's a small letter, so it's going to be in between these two solid lines. About halfway in between the two solid lines, we're going to go into the coat hanger movement. So for this one, we'll start off on the bottom solid line. We go up part way in a diagonal movement. Then we come round into that coat hanger movement, bump our heads, round, bump our bottoms, and take our pencil off. So we'll try that one again. So we'll start, we do the straight diagonal line, come into that coat hanger movement, up, over, bump our heads, round, bump our bottoms on that bottom solid line. The letter E. It's quite a tricky one, making sure that we keep that in between the two solid lines. We'll have a go at another one. So we do our straight line in a diagonal motion in between those two solid lines, and then we go into our coat hanger movement, up, over, bump our head, bump our bottom, and take our pencil off. It's a tricky one, so if you want to keep watching, I'm going to do a couple more. If you think that you've got the hang of it, have a go and do at least 4 of those, and then practice some more on the line if you think you need to. And once you've done, you can have a little look at it. If you've got the perfect E, put a little dot underneath that one. Trying to get that nice oval shape, making sure that they definitely stay in between those two solid lines to make it a small letter. And then after that, that's the coat hanger family. All done.